All right, so let's dive into something I think you're going to be super interested in, and that's unlocking more success in your health, relationships, and work.
Ooh.
And guess what? The key to all of this might just be something as simple and powerful as, you know, curiosity.
Yeah. It's fascinating how we often overlook those kind of basics,
Yeah. Yeah.
curiosity. It's something we're all born with, but then somewhere along the way, many of us seem to lose touch with it.
Hmm. That's so true. And to help us rediscover that power today, we're going to be drawing on the wisdom of Kiva, an entrepreneur and author who's originally from Ireland.
Okay.
She's actually founded an organization called 10 Mentors, and she's also written a couple of books and spent a lot of time exploring the world and really looking at the power of curiosity.
She has a very unique perspective on it as well. She asks a question in her work.
Okay.
What do Google, the Irish and peak performance expert Steven Kotler all have in common?
Okay, I have to admit, I'm curious.
Yeah.
What is the common thread?
Well, it all comes down to curiosity. And she's observed that the Irish, have a natural knack for starting conversations, connecting with people, often fueled by genuine curiosity.
Yeah.
Google, as a company, famously fosters a culture of curiosity, even encourages employees to dedicate time to exploring their own ideas.
Right.
And then you have Steven Kotler, who literally wrote the book on peak performance.
Yeah.
And guess what? He sees curiosity as that foundation for passion and purpose.
Okay, that's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
But if we're all naturally curious as kids, what happens along the way? Why do so many of us seem to lose that spark?
Well, that's a question that Kiva explores in depth.
Okay.
She points to societal pressures. We start to worry about fitting in, about asking stupid questions. Fear of judgment creeps in. We end up stifling our natural curiosity. And then, of course, routine plays a role. We get comfortable. We stop questioning, exploring, challenging ourselves.
Yeah, it's like we trade that childlike sense of wonder for the comfort of predictability.
Exactly. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be a one-way street. We can reclaim that curiosity, and in doing so, unlock incredible potential in our lives.
So how do we start? Kiva talks about Steve Jobs and his famous "stay hungry, stay foolish" quote. What do you think he meant by that?
Well, I don't think he was literally advocating for recklessness.
Okay.
I think it's more about approaching life with a beginner's mind, being open to new experiences, constantly learning, and never assuming you have all the answers.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about embracing that what-if mindset, just like kids do.
Yeah.
And this actually ties in with something that Steven Kotler talks about, his passion recipe.
Yes.
Kiva highlights this in her work as well. Can you tell us more about what that is?
Absolutely. Kotler's idea is that passion isn't something you just stumble upon, it's something that you cultivate. And it all starts with curiosity. So think of it like this. You get curious about something. Maybe you read an article or see a documentary that sparks a little interest. So you start dabbling, exploring, maybe it becomes a hobby.
So you're taking that initial spark of curiosity and you're fanning the flames?
Precisely. And as you invest more time and energy, that hobby can evolve into a full-blown passion. You get deeply engaged. You start seeking out knowledge, connecting with others who share your interests.
And from there, it can even transform into your purpose, the driving force behind your work and your life.
Exactly. But the key takeaway here is that none of that happens without that initial spark of curiosity. Kiva gives a great example with athletes like Lewis Hamilton. They're constantly pushing their limits, trying new techniques, analyzing their performance.
So even at the highest levels of achievement, curiosity remains essential for growth. But how can the average person apply this? I mean, most of us aren't trying to become Formula One champions.
Well, it's all about recognizing that curiosity fuels growth in every area of life. So take a mountaineer, for example. They don't just wake up one day and climb Mount Everest.
Right.
They start small, building their skills and confidence with each climb.
So each step is driven by that inherent curiosity. What's beyond that next ridge? And can I push myself a little further?
Exactly. And as they conquer those challenges, their ambition grows, and so does their mastery. You can apply that same principle to any pursuit, learning a new language, mastering a new skill, building a business, or even just improving your relationship.
I love that analogy. It makes the whole process seem so much more approachable.
Yeah.
Now, Kiva also delves into the science behind all of this, explaining how curiosity actually triggers dopamine production in the brain.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
That dopamine rush is what makes learning and discovering new things so rewarding. It literally makes us feel good, and our brains are wired to crave more of it.
It's like that feeling you get when you travel to a new place. Everything is exciting and stimulating, and you're just buzzing with new information and experiences.
Precisely, and that's the power of curiosity at a neurological level.
Yeah.
It keeps us engaged, motivated, and constantly seeking out new knowledge and experiences. It creates a positive feedback loop. The more curious we are, the more we learn, the better we feel, and the more we want to learn.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment. It's about creating a sustainable cycle of growth and fulfillment.
Exactly, but understanding the why is only part of the equation.
Right.
The real question is, how can we harness this incredible power to improve our health, relationships, and work?
That's the million-dollar question. And luckily, Kiva has some practical insights to share on exactly that. So shall we dive into those?
Let's do it, because knowledge without action is like a car without an engine. It's not going to get you very far.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's start with health, an area I know you're pretty keen to improve.
Yeah.
Kiva suggests approaching it with curiosity
Okay.
rather than that sense of obligation or dread that a lot of people kind of experience.
Yeah, that's such a powerful reframe. Instead of, well, if I had to go to the gym, it becomes, I wonder how much stronger I could get if I try that new workout.
Exactly. Or what if I explored a different type of exercise like yoga or dance? Curiosity transforms it into an experiment, a journey of self-discovery.
That makes so much sense. It takes the pressure off and makes it more about exploration and less about, achieving some arbitrary goal.
Yeah.
What about relationships? How does curiosity play a role there?
Well, think about it. What makes someone a great conversationalist? It's often their genuine curiosity about the other person, right?
Right.
So Kiva emphasizes that bringing that same curiosity into your relationships can make you a better listener, a more engaged partner, friend, or family member.
Okay.
It's about asking questions that go beyond the surface level.
So instead of the standard, how was your day, you might ask, what was the most interesting or surprising thing that happened to you today?
Yes, or what's something you've always wanted to try but haven't yet. You're digging deeper, you're showing a genuine interest in their experiences and aspirations.
I love how Kiva uses the example of Irish pubs to illustrate this point.
Yeah.
She talks about how it's so natural for people to strike up conversations there fueled by curiosity about, where the other person is from or what brings them to that particular pub.
Yeah, it's a great example of how curiosity can break down barriers and create those instant connections.
Right.
And it's not just about being naturally outgoing. Anyone can practice this.
So even if you're not Irish, you can still cultivate that conversational curiosity.
Absolutely. You can start by simply being more observant of your surroundings and the people around you.
Okay.
Notice something interesting and ask about it, or practice asking open-ended questions that invite people to share more than just a yes or no answer. And of course, active listening is key. Really pay attention to what the other person is saying and respond in a way that shows you're engaged and interested.
Those are great tips. Now let's shift gears and talk about work.
Okay.
How can curiosity help us unlock more success in our careers?
This is where it gets really exciting. Kiva points to companies like Google, who have a long history of fostering curiosity among their employees. They even have this famous 20% rule where employees are encouraged to spend 20% of their time exploring their own ideas and projects.
That's so cool. And it's obviously been incredibly successful for them. Think about innovations like Gmail and Google Maps, which were born out of that very approach.
Exactly. It demonstrates that sometimes the most groundbreaking ideas come from giving people the space and freedom to explore their own curiosity. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart and creating an environment where those aha moments can occur.
So even if we don't work at Google, we can still apply this principle in our own work lives.
Absolutely. Think about it. What are some areas in your work that you're genuinely curious about? What skills would you like to develop? What problems would you love to solve? Even carving out 30 minutes a week for a curiosity project can make a huge difference.
It's about making a conscious effort to step outside of the routine and explore new possibilities, even within the context of, our existing jobs.
Precisely. And Kiva also provides a great example from South Korea, the eyewear company Gentle Monster.
Okay.
They're constantly innovating, not just with their products, but also with their retail experience.
Yeah, their stores are like futuristic art installations.
Yeah. Right.
They're always pushing the boundaries and challenging conventional norms.
And that's what sets them apart. They're not afraid to experiment, take risks, and follow their curiosity. It's a powerful reminder that curiosity isn't just for artists and inventors. It can be a driving force for success in any industry.
Now, Kiva makes a really important distinction. She says that curiosity is about more than just asking questions.
Yeah.
It's about replacing judgment with wonder.
That's so crucial. I love how she brings in that Ted Lasso quote, "Be curious, not judgmental."
Oh, yeah.
It perfectly captures the essence of this mindset shift.
Because when we judge, we close ourselves off to new possibilities, new perspectives, deeper understanding.
Exactly. Curiosity, on the other hand, opens our minds and hearts. It allows us to see the world through a lens of possibility rather than limitations.
Right.
It helps us empathize with others, even if we don't agree with them.
Yeah.
And it fosters a sense of connection both with ourselves and with the world around us.
So how can we cultivate this more curious, less judgmental way of being? What are some practical steps the listener can take?
Well, it starts with awareness.
Okay.
Pay attention to those moments when judgment creeps in. Maybe you're scrolling through social media or having a disagreement with a colleague or even just observing people on the street.
It's about catching yourself in those moments of judgment.
Exactly. And instead of jumping to conclusions or letting your inner critic take over, try shifting into a state of curiosity. Ask yourself, what am I curious about in this situation? What don't I know about this person or their perspective?
So it's like hitting the pause button on your reaction and choosing curiosity instead.
Precisely, and it takes practice.
Yeah.
Our brains are wired for judgment. It's a survival mechanism.
Right.
But we can rewire them for curiosity. The more we practice choosing curiosity over judgment, the more natural it will become.
And the more we'll reap the benefits,
Yeah.
stronger relationships, a more fulfilling career, and a deeper sense of purpose and connection.
Absolutely. But it all starts with that conscious choice to embrace curiosity as a guiding principle in our lives.
Kieve's quote, "Curiosity is your queen," really resonates with me.
Yeah.
It's like an invitation to let curiosity reign in our lives and see where it leads us.
And that's something anyone can do, regardless of their background, their age, or their circumstances. It's a simple yet profound shift in perspective that has the power to transform our lives.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave the listener with a question to ponder: what small act of curiosity will you embrace today?
Will you strike up a conversation with a stranger? Will you finally sign up for that online course you've been eyeing? Will you take a different route home from work just to see what you discover?
The possibilities are endless. Remember, every journey, every breakthrough, every meaningful connection starts with a single question: what if?
So go out there, be curious, and watch as your world expands in ways you never imagined possible.
And if you're looking for more inspiration, be sure to check out Kiva's work with 10 mentors and Steven Kotler's books on peak performance. They're packed with insights that can help you unlock the full potential of your curious mind.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the transformative power of curiosity. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep that spark of wonder alive.
You know, it's amazing how